Good afternoon, friends. We will now have a media interaction. We will initially have media statements followed by a few questions that the two ministers have agreed to respond to. I will first request the Minister of External Affairs, Sri Salman Khurshid, to make his opening remarks.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Ratu Enoke Kababala, Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Fiji, ladies and gentlemen of the media, I'm delighted to welcome His Excellency on his first visit to India as Foreign Minister of Fiji. He did visit us before, but that was as Works Minister. We've had a very, very substantive and fruitful discussion on many bilateral, regional and multilateral issues of our common interest. I'd like to congratulate the Foreign Minister of Fiji on the adoption of the new constitution and convey my best wishes to the people of Fiji as they prepare for elections later this year. India supports the democratic process in Fiji, and that goes without saying. We shall provide Fiji with such assistance as they require, including indelible ink for elections, something that's now popular with many countries, vehicles for the Election Commission, and training of election and parliamentary officials as our contribution towards Fiji's march towards democracy. India and Fiji share close and cordial relations. We've agreed that bilateral relations have been growing and people-to-people contacts are developing satisfactorily in recent years. Our relations have received a positive momentum with the exchange of visits, including the visits by both Prime Minister Beni Marama and President Nalatikau to India. The visit of the Foreign Minister himself is significant in this context. We also welcome the positive developments initiated by Fijian authorities for the population of Indian origin in recent times, and we are very happy to have been able to contribute so significantly to nation building of the people, nation building in Fiji. It's an important partner. Fiji is an important partner of India in this region and part of our overall Look East policy. We agreed to continue our excellent cooperation and understanding at a political, regional and multilateral levels and expand cooperation in a variety of socio-economic sectors. We have been happy to share our development experience with Fiji bilaterally and in the framework of South-South cooperation. Fiji has supported us consistently in international fora, and we express our gratitude. I congratulated the Foreign Minister for a commendable job as the chair of G77 plus China in 2013, and on the follow-up of that conference, we will be working closely together. We agreed to enhance cooperation in the area of agriculture, especially in the field of sugar. The upgradation program provided by India has helped increase the sugar yield, strengthen capacity building, and promote technology transfer. I'm glad that we are embarking on a second LOC for the sugar sector and are also considering cooperation on a cogeneration project in this sector. I'm happy also that there has been substantial progress of cooperation in the health sector. We've provided assistance in the form of medical equipment and ambulances. The Ministry of Health of Fiji has entered into a public-private partnership with Shayadri Hospital, Pune, for providing tertiary health care at the Commonwealth War Memorial Hospital in Suva. Apollo Hospitals have set up a telemedicine center at the College of Medicine at the Fiji National University. A number of Fijian students are studying medicine in India. We also see the prospect of Fiji emerging as a regional hub for generic medicines sourced from India to provide affordable health care. I'm happy that the ICCR has stepped up the annual intake of Fiji students for higher studies under its scholarship program to 30. It was 25 earlier, besides the private students who come to our universities. All the 3 universities in Fiji have an MOU and other arrangements with various institutions in our country and we are looking forward to much greater academic linkages. Cultural exchanges between India and Fiji have been growing in recent years. As you know, the India Cultural Center in Fiji was the first center opened by ICCR abroad, and that was more than 40 years ago. We're really happy that Bollywood filmmakers have been traveling to Fiji to shoot films, and I hope that we would one day see a co-production or certainly see a film made on a story of shared experience and shared connectivity between our two people. I wish to convey my appreciation to the government of Fiji for providing assistance during the visit of 2 ships from India for monitoring from the Pacific the launch of the Mars orbiter mission in November 2013. The Foreign Minister and I have discussed the allocation of a plot of land. This is very important because we must be rooted in each other's soil. Land for the Fiji High Commission in New Delhi, close to the heart of New Delhi, and a plot of land for the Indian High Commission and the Indian Cultural Center in Suva is been offered. We will be sending a team very shortly to firm up the arrangements. We've also agreed to step up cooperation and training of diplomats. You have witnessed the signing today of 3 MOUs on development cooperation, water resource management, and standards. The India-Fiji DTAA was signed earlier this month during the visit of the Attorney General of Fiji. Besides the agreements and MOUs under consideration include the one in agriculture cooperation, coconut industry, training of police personnel, and several others which will certainly deepen and widen our bilateral cooperation. We look forward to further strengthening this multifaceted relations with Fiji, and I believe that we have a very, very productive year ahead, and I wish the Foreign Minister and his people good luck for elections and beyond. Thank you very much.
May I now request the Foreign Minister of Fiji to make his opening remarks.
Excellency, I don't have a prepared script, but let me just again say thank you for all the assistance that you have mentioned this morning to Fiji. Fiji benefits a lot from these relations with India, and we are truly grateful to the government of India for the bilateral assistance that has been offered to us over the years and even today. We also have our elections this year, as been mentioned by His Excellency, by September this year, the first time that we will have a truly democratic election, whereby one man, one vote. In the past, we've always had a divisive constitution, race-based constitution, whereby an indigenous Fijian would vote for his own member into parliament, and an Indian would vote his member into parliament, and those who are neither Fijian nor Indian would vote their members to parliament. But this year will be for the first time that we will have an election where the constitution is no longer race-based. It's a truly democratic election, and we are very excited and looking forward to that. We are very grateful for the assistance that has been given to Fiji from the government of India. As His Excellency has mentioned, the provision of vehicles for the election office and also for the training of our workers in Parliament in preparation when Parliament convenes after the election in September. But we've had a very good meeting this morning. Many issues have been discussed, and also I also take this opportunity to wish His Excellency all the best for elections coming up soon here in India. We have a common bond. We have elections both in our two countries this year. But again, Excellency and ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for having us here today. Thank you.
The ministers have agreed to respond to a few questions. The first question is from Mr. Manas from the Press Trust of India.
My question is to both Mr. Khurshid and Fijian External Affairs Minister. Sir, to you first, IAM. Sir, India's mission, Mars orbiter mission completed 100 days today. Would like to know, in fact, how Fiji is contributing to this mission and what is their contribution in monitoring various data received from the orbiter projects.
See, the very sensitive part of space mission is the actual launch, and then the tracking in the first few hours to make sure that it's on the right track and to make sure that everything is going well. And therefore, it's important strategically to place yourself in various parts of the globe to be able to track. And then, of course, if it's a satellite launch, then there has to be global tracking. Fiji is obviously very, very important in terms of our launches of this nature, and this is they are very helpful in letting us station our ships in their territorial waters to be able to do the tracking. The equipment, of course, is on the ships, and they pass that data onto the space agency. But we don't have a permanent presence there, unlike our presence in the Arctic, for instance, or our presence in other parts of the world, because that depends on need basis and, of course, the technical capacity. But we were discussing it today amongst ourselves that perhaps if we get more launches, perhaps there may be an opportunity to consider and to see if we can do something of a permanent nature. Of course, you can combine that with satellite tracking, but it's an expensive business. So I'll talk to my colleague, but I'm very grateful that in that critical moment, we had help from Fiji, and it was very generous of them, and we're very grateful to them.
So one more question to Honorable Foreign Minister from Fiji. Sir, in fact, Fiji was suspended from Commonwealth, fully suspended from Commonwealth in 2009. And your flag, in fact, still carries the Commonwealth symbol. So would you like to explain your position on the issue?
Yeah, you're right, with the Commonwealth flag on our flag. But we have a history. We have very good historical links with the Commonwealth. We believe that this suspension is only a short term, while we are trying to fix ourselves up in coming up with the reforms and the constitution that is good for everybody in Fiji. As I mentioned before, we are now going to elections, truly democratic elections, for the first time since independence in 1970, that we will have this election. And everybody in Fiji now is called Fijian, no longer Indian, indigenous people to be called Fijian. Everybody is Fijian. This is it's the greatest move in Fiji. It's been talked about in the past governments, but this government has come through with this. So I really believe after the election, we will go back to the Commonwealth.
Last question, Srinjoy Chaudhary from Times New.
Question to the External Affairs Minister. The US State Department has categorically refuted your suggestion that what happened in Gujarat in 2002 was similar to the Holocaust, as you had suggested. Are you going to discuss this with the State Department or take it up in any way?
I don't think that this is an issue of a dialogue between the State Department and us, and nor did I say that it was similar to Holocaust. I said the Holocaust is an issue with liberal democracies in the West. We don't tell them to forget it. So I said similarly, assessments made by Indian people about incidents and events that happen in India, I don't think we should be told by somebody to forget it. These are assessments that every society has to make for itself. I don't think we need to compare one unwholesome thing with another wholesome thing. That's obviously quite clear, and it would be unfair for anyone to think that we are comparing one major incident in history with something that's happened in our times. Maybe there's a misreading somewhere. I don't think that we need a conversation on this at all. It was a comment on something that's happening in India, and it was something about what has happened in India. And I don't think that anyone can complain or consider it unwarranted for one of us to comment on what's happened in our own country.
Thank you very much. With that, we come to the end of this event. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.